What if Indiana has been hiding terrifying secrets for centuries? Secrets buried beneath forests, rivers, forgotten railroads, and abandoned towns where people still whisper warnings after sunset. Strange disappearances, glowing lights, underground tunnels, and stories too disturbing to explain have left generations asking one impossible question. What really happened in the places history quietly forgot? Stay until the end, because Indiana may hide one of America's strangest unsolved mysteries. Deep inside Indiana's wooded countryside, travelers have reported something impossible for generations. Along isolated roads surrounded by endless trees, strange lights sometimes appear late at night, hovering silently above empty fields before vanishing without warning. Some witnesses claimed the lights followed their vehicles for miles, growing brighter every time they tried to escape. One retired truck driver once described seeing human-like figures standing near an abandoned railroad crossing, perfectly still, watching silently before disappearing into fog moments later. Locals often avoid certain backroads after midnight, convinced something unexplained lingers there. Even stranger, several old reports mention travelers hearing distant voices calling their names from empty woods despite no one being nearby. Historians and investigators searched for answers but found little evidence beyond frightened stories repeated across generations. Some believe forgotten tragedies tied to railroad accidents left emotional scars on the land itself, while others insist something far older may be responsible. Near Indiana's limestone caves, another mystery continues to disturb explorers. Hidden beneath rolling hills are underground passages stretching far deeper than maps explain. Cave visitors have described hearing footsteps echoing behind them even when completely alone. Some explorers claim shadows moved unnaturally across cave walls despite having no clear light source nearby. One local guide reportedly abandoned his career after hearing whispers coming from deep inside a sealed tunnel no person could physically enter. According to legend, early settlers believed hidden chambers beneath the caves contained symbols carved into stone long before modern settlements existed. Strange markings, circles, and unexplained patterns reportedly vanished whenever researchers attempted to document them. Skeptics dismiss the stories, yet even experienced spelunkers quietly admit certain tunnels create an overwhelming feeling of dread strong enough to send people running toward daylight without explanation. To this day, parts of Indiana's underground remain unexplored, leaving many to wonder what still waits beneath the surface. Indiana's forgotten lakes carry mysteries equally difficult to explain. Residents near isolated waters have long described seeing strange shapes move silently beneath dark surfaces at impossible speeds. Some fishermen told stories of hearing voices across empty water late at night, soft whispers carried through thick fog despite no visible boats nearby. One chilling local story tells of a man who vanished after claiming he had discovered something impossible beneath a remote lake dock. His equipment remained untouched, but he never returned. Years later, unusual disturbances in the same water sparked rumors of hidden tunnels beneath the lake connected to abandoned settlements now buried by time. Children growing up nearby often heard warnings never to stare too long into the water after sunset. Some laughed at the superstition until unexplained sounds echoed through the darkness. No investigation has fully explained these repeated sightings, leaving fear to quietly survive generation after generation. Then there are Indiana's abandoned buildings and forgotten communities, places where silence itself feels unnatural. In one nearly empty town, visitors described clocks stopping at nearly the exact same hour inside abandoned homes. Others reported hearing footsteps upstairs despite collapsed roofs and empty rooms untouched for decades. Paranormal investigators exploring an old courthouse once recorded voices whispering fragments of sentences no one remembered speaking. One former resident claimed entire neighborhoods entered after families began reporting identical nightmares involving shadowy strangers standing outside windows at night. While historians attribute the town's collapse to economics and migration, locals whisper about fear spreading long before residents officially moved away. Even daytime visitors admit some streets feel strangely frozen in time, as if something invisible quietly watches from behind broken windows. Perhaps the strangest mystery comes from Indiana's forgotten forests. Hunters, hikers, and campers repeatedly described losing hours of time without memory of what happened. Watchers reportedly stopped working, compasses spun aimlessly, and familiar trails somehow led travelers in circles for hours. One couple camping near a remote wooded area claimed they woke to find strange symbols pressed into dirt surrounding their tent despite hearing nothing overnight. Rangers found no explanation. Some believe hidden natural conditions confuse perception. Others quietly believe the forest protects secrets people were never meant to uncover. Whatever the truth may be, Indiana remains filled with places carrying questions history never answered. And perhaps the most unsettling mystery of all is this: what if the stories survive because something there still refuses to be forgotten?